Hello, welcome. All right, so imagine that you've got a Shopify business, Shopify brand, whatever you want to call it. What's the easiest way to take that and to actually start really driving traction and really getting sales? What's the easiest way to get traction, to build up an audience and to get sales when you first start out? So if you've not met me before, I'm Mark Ladson. I'm the founder of Predictable Commerce, and we exist to help e-commerce sellers start, grow and scale without the need for an agency. I've got three main things to go through. One is the idea of a funnel and what aspects of that, where they fit in, and how you need to think about the people that are buying from you. I want you to think about the process of you warming them up, and I'm going to give you a strategy to be able to do that. And then I'm going to talk to you about content ideas, because often people get stuck for content. People think, what do I write? What do I say? So what we've got here is a funnel to represent and where your people are going to come from and how much they know you. So what you want, the end goal is you want people to buy from you. Every single business does not exist unless people buy from you. And if you're happy with people not buying from you, then arguably your business is just a bit of a hobby, and you should be thinking very strategically about what's going to bring you the money in. And you've essentially got three stages here. So you've got top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel. It's the bottom of funnel where people are buying from you. If you are taking somebody along this journey, when you are a young brand, it can be quite tricky to take them through this process, especially when you're on a fairly tight budget, and that's the purpose of today. How do you get them from what we define here as being a cold lead or a cold person to somebody who is warm and eventually hot? Because they've got to know you, they've gone through these stages. Now, one way you can jump past this is to run an effective paid advertising campaign, which takes a certain level of investment and a certain level of skill to be able to do that. And what I'm going to show you today is something a bit more budget friendly. If you are just starting out and you want to start growing an audience and you want to start driving those sales, but you need to warm people up slowly. And what we're going to do is look at how you can do three main things. So one, this is where you bring people in. So we're look at how you add people in there, and we're then going to look at how you warm them up, and we're then going to look at how you convert them into a buyer. Because here's the thing: for them to buy from you, there has to be a number of elements that are in place, and one of them, so there has to be trust, there has to be a perception of value, and there has to be a reason for them to buy from you now. Otherwise people will not make a decision now and just not make a purchase. If the value is not there, then they're going to be more conscious about, people are more conscious about where their money goes right now. And on that note, that doesn't mean that this is a more difficult marketplace for you as a small seller. It means it's actually a more difficult marketplace for bigger sellers that have got no personality behind their brand. So you as a person building this brand can build up trust, can build up value, and give them a clear reason to make a purchase now. And taking people through these stages can be achieved by growing an audience. So if we look at that process, and this is really going to cover what I consider to be the easiest ways of doing this right now. First of all, you choose your platform, okay, your media presence. We're all media companies, whether you like it or not. All right, social media is media, that's what the name's in it, and social is about people connecting. So really, social media is connection media or connection content. You want to choose where people are hanging out, right? And now the two biggest platforms, or the three really nowadays, we've got Facebook, and incidentally, Facebook pages are seeing a bit of a resurgence. So there was a time when the traction you would get on a Facebook page was fairly weak. Things are coming back there because Facebook are trying to pivot to Facebook pages becoming creator friendly in the whole, they want to counter TikTok basically. So a Facebook page is right now in 2023 a more viable place to build an audience. You've got an Instagram page, which is a logo, something like that. Or you've got TikTok. Okay. Now, this one here is a less mature platform and a place where it can be very difficult to convert people because they're not in buying mode. It very much depends on your products. So we're going to ignore this one for today. That doesn't mean that he doesn't have a place within this, but these two are very established ecosystems and interconnected. So what you need to do is make sure that your content on your channel, now you might decide that, generally my people, it could be age specific. So this is where you need to know and understand your avatar, your demographic perfectly. You need to know where they're hanging out the most. Are they hanging out the most on Facebook, or are they hanging out the most on Instagram? I'd suggest choosing one and going all in on that one. So here you've got a Facebook page, and here you've got an Instagram. We'll call it a page. All right, it's a profile, isn't it? And what you're either doing is building followers here, or page likes and followers here. And you do that in two ways. The first one is organically. Now, organically means putting out good content. And I'm going to touch on that over here. You think you're stuck for content, I'm going to give you 3 ways to think about it, and you will not feel stuck ever again. So you've got organic, and there are paid strategies to grow both of these. You can spend an extremely low amount of money to get a good result. Now let's say you budget $5 a day. It doesn't even need to be as high as that. What I would do is take the organic content that performed the best, so assess this, so which piece of content that you put out got the most interaction from your existing audience. Then amplify that message with the specific job of growing your page. And what you can it's hard to break this down more numerically. In comparison to running conversion ads, we're going straight in for the sale. It's a different kind of kettle of fish, different way of doing it. But look, I've worked with people who've done this and taken their brand to literally 25k a month, which is staggering really. And most people who are going to be watching this would be very happy with that. In fact, one person we worked with went from literally 2k per month to 25 using this strategy, and a few others that we work with them on. Now, what's cool is once you've amplified the organic content that's doing well, you're driving people back to your page or your profile. You're growing the number of people that are hanging out here, and they're like, hey, this is a cool place to be. I like seeing the content here. I'm going to hang out here. You grow the number of people there. If they're the right people, if they're your avatar, they are likely to come along and become customers. And here's the fun bit. Instagram have now released a feature where you can target the people who have followed your profile directly. It's existed on Facebook with page likes and page followers for some time. It's a new feature on Instagram. So you're then going to run a conversion ad campaign that specifically targets these people. Why are we doing it that way? Well, if we go back to this funnel and see the process, these people are already going to be in this stage. Warming up. They're not cold, because they have been following you. They have engaged with you already. You have built the relationship through this page, through your media platform. So by showing a conversion ad to these people, you are more likely to get the conversion, and you have to spend less. So if your CPM was $15, so that's to reach 1,000 people. And if you had 10,000 people here, it's only going to cost you $150 to reach all of those people once. In comparison to having that same number of people that Facebook is then going out cold to and trying to drive conversions. Now, by no means is it as clear cut as this. This is not always the best way of going about it. And it takes changes and nuances and adaptations as you go through. But if you want a low budget way of making it feel like you're getting somewhere with your brand, this is the way to do it. Because what you're also doing is growing the number of people that are following you. So all of a sudden, you've got people they're actually waiting on you. They're your audience. You've got an audience. So it doesn't feel like every time you put something out, you're just throwing it into the universe and nothing's coming back. You have real purpose to your content. And you're warming people up and they're going to buy from you. And it might be that you put together a conversion ad with a very clear offer that is so compelling that these people that have been watching you for some time are just like, now is the time for me to make a purchase. I've seen this happen time and again. You build up the demand, you build up the warmth, and then you push something to the audience that they cannot say no to. The other option is we do something that gets this audience then from here onto an email list, because that is ultimately where we want them, because they are worth more money to us there. But this is the first stage, this is the foundation, because it gives you a low-cost way of developing an audience and driving sales from the audience. And it allows you to test things. It allows you to test your messaging. And it allows you to test your, the content that you're putting out here. It allows you to test it. What works? What doesn't? Keep track of it. Notice patterns. And just make sure that everything you do drives engagement. So, engagement. All right, this is the last bit. How long have we been going on for here? Okay, long enough. Last bit. And this is a super helpful way of thinking about content production. If you're thinking about content production, use the 3 E's. Don't steal it. Joke. You can. It's great. 3 E's. 3 things. All right. If you are thinking to yourself, how do I create? What do I put out there? All right. You've got 3 things that really you need to do within your media place. Entertain, educate, and engage. These are the things that people like. These are the reasons why people go on social media. They don't go on social media to buy your products, by the way. You must remember that. They are not there to buy your products. They are there to be social. So you're going to put a message out there that fits with that. Entertain them, educate them, and engage them. So important to do that. And your content, you can build out all of your content around these 3 E's. All right, entertainment's pretty obvious. This could be like behind the scenes. Everybody loves seeing the secret work that goes on in the background behind a business. Show them a bit about it. Educate them, so teach them about your products, all the values that surround your product. If you think that your product's got eco-credentials, then use that to form some sort of education around that. And ideally your audience will latch onto that, because if they're the right people, they're going to align with your values. I have my values written there, literally right there. Like, where have I gone? There. I have my values there, because I want to know what my values are. I want to know. I want to remember what my values are. It's the most important thing when you're building a business. And then the engage thing is really, and you need to remember that social platforms are built on this, is an interaction. And you can really learn about your audience from this. Polls, questions, anything that gets them to react in some way. That will drive the algorithm, and it will allow them to see more of your other content, because wherever you are, the algorithm needs to see that people react and engage with what you put out there. That's really important to remember, because it's all built on time on platform. They care about time on platform and not much else. So to use the tool to your benefit, you need to use the tool in the way that they want you to use the tool. and then you are more likely to get results from that. So zooming back out, we have discussed in summary the idea that you need to build a funnel in the way that you take people through, the way you develop trust, value, and the impetus for them to make a purchase now. We have spoken about choosing a media platform to focus on, and I would definitely suggest one to start out with. It is way too overwhelming to be posting on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook pages, Facebook groups, LinkedIn, whatever else there is every day. Pick one. Where are your people hanging out the most? Pick one. Go in all in on it. Double down on it. And then position your content around the 3 E's. That will leave you never in doubt about what content you should create. And then finally, when you've built that audience, put out your content, test it organically, and then amplify that message to grow the audience and to go in and create offers that people then make a purchase on the back of. Make it something decent. 10% off is not going to cut it. Make it something compelling. There's a number of offers that you can create, and I've done other training on that is in the community as well. Okay, guys, it has been a pleasure. There's been quite a lot of you on here, which has been very nice to see. Last thing is, I just want to invite you, if you want to have a discussion about where we're going to take your brand in 2023, then feel free to go to markladson.com/call and book your free growth strategy session. I would really appreciate a comment just to let me know if you've got any other questions from the back of this training, and if what you've learned from it, what are the things that you've learned, and what are the things that you're going to implement, because implementation is everything in this game. All right, implement, move forward, get doing the work, because sitting and thinking about it will achieve nothing. That's what everyone else is doing. You need to hit the ground running, and you need to create something. Put your energy and your excitement for whatever it is you're doing out there into the world and make a success of it. All right, have a great day. Take care, everyone.